Best way to clear your clairaudience and fully tap into the energy is to clear that throat chakra. Let's get into it, okay? So, clairaudience is the ability to hear sounds, words, music that maybe other people can't hear through your mind, okay? We're gonna get over limiting beliefs as well, like, hearing voices that aren't there, okay? That's not always what happens with clairaudience, but let's get into it. So, if you're hearing sounds or words that resonate deeply within you, okay, for example, let's just say you want to get ready for a birthday party, and this is like a family member that you don't really like, and everything within you is like, don't go. Don't go. No, no, no. You're like doing your hair. No, no, no. You're like putting on your makeup. No, no, no. Okay, this is clairaudience. This is you clairaudiently receiving information that something is not of your highest good. Okay, or it could be like the opposite too, like, should I take this financial opportunity? Well, I don't know, everyone's telling me I shouldn't do this job, but my intuition's saying yes. It's like when you're closing your eyes and you're like, hands on your heart, what should I do? Source, God, universe, yes, trust. Okay, this is also clairaudience as well. You could also hear sounds, okay, that aren't there, or even hear your name, but be careful with that because if you've seen on TikTok, they could also be like spirits playing games, or, but we get into that as well. Clairaudience could also be like mediumship, and obviously, as you delve deeper and really develop your psychic gifts and abilities, you'll also start to be able to really connect to, other beings, whether it's past over loved ones or like starseed, Arcturian, Pleiadian, star galaxy beings of light, right? And the way that you develop that is really by starting small, learning to trust yourself, learning to see them with your mind's eye, okay? And we'll get deeper into that. Music can also be a sign, whether you're using inner hearing or outer hearing. I've woken up in the middle of the night, literally feeling like I'm hearing a song in my ears, but there's nothing playing, right? And that's outer hearing, where you really feel like you're hearing it, but it's not actually there. And then there's inner healing, I'm gonna say hearing, but okay, healing, inner hearing, where like as a reader, if you're shuffling cards or you're talking to someone and you hear a random song, like, I don't know, I don't know, Justin Bieber. Like anything, it doesn't really matter, but it obviously has some kind of meaning to you, right? There's obviously some kind of reason for that. So clairaudience is knowing that you're receiving auditory enhancements, ideas that are aligning you to your highest path, okay? And the best way to enhance this is to really tap into clear inner knowing or higher self energy, right? So the only way to really connect to like mediumship abilities, which I think I'll make another YouTube on that, and like connecting to intergalactic Palladians, you know, starseed ancestors, is to really trust yourself, okay? And a lot of times it's like it really has to develop, but it's not like a full-blown conversation. Like for me, when I'm doing readings for people on live, for example, or when I'm channeling for the collective, even right now, like I'm hearing things in my mind that like it doesn't sound like myself. It's still your own voice, but I always tell people the way that you're channeling, or the way that you're clairaudiently hearing things, is that if it sounds smarter than you, it is, okay? And if you're struggling with developing your psychic gifts and abilities, you can always shoot me a DM on TikTok, same name, Chasing Happiness LLC, book a shamanic healing, okay? And we can help you enhance all psychic gifts and abilities. Let's keep going. So, the way to fully balance out your clairaudience is to heal your throat chakra. Now, this is something that I accidentally found on Google as I was looking things up, like which chakra should I focus on. I just did some minor Googling. So, if you balance out your throat chakra, it's going to help you with listening and communication, because your throat is also close to your ears. So, in order to be able to hear things properly, whether outer or inner, you have to balance out your throat chakra. And this is also known across a lot of different religions, a lot of different, nationalities, okay? And the more that you're able to listen, the more you're able to communicate. Also, if you struggle with anxiety, unblocking your throat chakra can help you listen to inner guidance better, okay, which I didn't know that, and I wish I knew that years ago, okay. I truly wish that I knew that years ago, okay, that unblocking your throat chakra will help with anxiety because it'll help you listen better, okay. um your throat is also the bridge between all of your chakras, right? So I know this isn't discussed a lot, but we have more than 7 chakras. You have the eighth chakra, which is behind your head, which opens up as you're stepping more into your power. There's actually 12 chakras. So the throat chakra is the bridge between the physical and the spiritual, right? So like your root, all that's all physical stuff. But then when you get to your throat, which is starting to connect to the metaphysical, and your third eye and your crown, right? It's the bridge between the lower and the upper chakras. So therefore, if you balance out your throat chakra, you're going to be able to connect much deeper to other psychic gifts and abilities, especially clairaudience, okay? Also remember that clairaudient messages can both be symbolic and be literal, as well as have a different tone than your own voice, like I mentioned earlier. So like, for example, if I'm doing a reading and I'm channeling information, or I'm even talking to someone and my spirit team is constantly talking to me, I'll know that this message is for me or someone else based off of the way that my own voice in my own head sounds, right? So it's like, is it my higher self? Is it deeper? Like for me, it sounds like me, but it's much quieter, okay? It sounds like my own voice, but it's a lot quieter. And maybe it's like a little like lower of a tone, okay, or higher of a tone. But again, for everyone, it's going to be different. That's why it's really important for you to meditate, work with crystals, okay? There are meditations that you can do to really develop your chakras in general, as well as your psychic gifts and abilities. There are meditations for everything on YouTube. As well as if you're wanting to clear out your throat chakra to be able to develop that clairaudience, you can do humming and chanting. Om is very significant, okay, or anything that really resonates with your spirit. You could also use crystals like aquamarine and blue lace agate, or really any blue crystal. You could place it on your throat chakra, hold it, wear it as a necklace. Okay, there's plenty of jewelry out there. So let's talk about automatic writing. So this is another way you can develop your clairaudience. So, if you sit there and let's just say like you want to know, why do I have these blockages? And you close your eyes. Let's just say you have money blockages. Okay, well, I have these money blockages because I remember seeing my mom struggle financially, right? So either you'll get a vision, which is, more like claircognizance, or again clairaudience, like maybe you'll hear like your mom, okay, well then it's, oh, okay, what about my mom, what about my dad, what about my past, right? And then you start automatic writing. So automatic writing is another way to really connect to your psychic gifts and abilities in general, and helping yourself open up, okay, as well as really just like sitting with yourself and asking yourself, what do I need to hear right now? Being open to receiving. Sound baths are really significant as well. Like if you listen to sound baths on a consistent basis and allow yourself to relax, that's where those channel messages come in as well, okay? So let's talk about misconceptions. I think the biggest misconception with clairaudience in general is that a lot of people are afraid, oh my god, I'm hearing voices, okay? Or maybe is this a sign of like a mental health disease, right? I just want you to know, okay, God wants me to tap into this. See, I'm channeling. See, my spirit team's like God, source, universe, talk about it, okay? I kind of wanted to avoid talking about like schizoaffective and schizophrenia, okay? I've done readings for many people, friends as well, who said that they were, battling with mental health where they think that they're hearing voices. And I'm like, well, why do you think that this is a disorder and not a psychic gift and ability? Because a lot of times, now this isn't for everyone, okay? Trigger warning, and also warning in general. Obviously, that's not for everyone, okay? If you are someone who really struggles with this, then it might not be a psychic gift and ability. But I would say for a lot of people, like, it is mismanaged even autism, stuff like that. These are mismanaged psychic gifts and abilities. And I think it's really important to realize that, just because a doctor says you have something doesn't mean that you actually have something. So, fear of hearing voices. Okay, big misconception. First of all, if you're hearing voices, you might be connecting to past or loved ones. Maybe get a psychic reading with a reader that you trust, whether that's myself or someone else, okay? And make sure, because I've helped people get off of their meds and feel better, but again, that's not for everybody, and that's something that you have to have a lot of experience in and be very careful with. I've been reading for over 15 years, okay? There are people who obviously do have mental health and those that don't. But however, I digress. So if you have a fear of really connecting to like your clairaudience and your intuition because you think that you're going to hear voices, or you think that like you are going to tap into something that you don't want to be tapping into, this is a misconception, because you're not always hearing voices. You're hearing like a word, or you're like, like really hearing a song, or you're hearing a sound, or you're hearing, I just heard Sound of Music, okay? And again, it's myself, but it's not myself, okay? And that's another thing you have to realize too, that a lot of readers and channelers, they also get confused, okay? Like, I've gone to big readers that messed up my readings because they heard something and that it didn't apply to me. It's your own ego. So just remember that you have to have trust, you have to have patience, and not everything is going to come in super fast and super easy. Like, there's still like readers with a lot of followers and people with a lot of clout and recognition. Like, they don't always know what they're doing either, okay? This is not really a science. It's more of like trusting your intuition and knowing that you're always being guided, and the more you practice, the better you get, and really discerning between ego screams, intuition whispers, okay? And really like trust yourself, trust your knowing, and don't be in a rush, okay? I love you. Just keep shining. You've got this, baby.